Hey Virgo, welcome to your April general reading. In today's reading, I am going to define what needs to be prioritized in your energy in April. This is ultimately meant to keep you on course and on track for your greater good. In this reading, also look forward to 3 exciting things in which I normally perform. First, that includes a soundtrack. If you'd like to take advantage of that, go ahead and listen. Just below, I have attached all the songs that are energetically involved in this reading. Also, at the end of this reading, look forward to me charm casting, and at the very end, look forward to me giving you a yes or no answer to a question maybe you've been pondering for a while, or a question that comes up during this reading. Okay, Virgo, let's get into your reading. I'm excited. Let's do this. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I really appreciate your support in any way, shape, or form. Just to let you know, liking this video, commenting, sharing, anything extra helps support my channel, and I really do appreciate that. First, I'm starting your soundtrack. Let's get started. Okay, Virgo, your song, first song is Oblivion by The National. If anything, I at least advise you to listen to the first and last song to that song list. Those are the most significant in this reading. Otherwise, the other songs just kind of give you more. All right, first I'm using the Celtic cross layout with the tarot to define what's going on in your situation from the recent past leading up to your current situation. What needs to be prioritized, what you're letting go of, what you look forward to in the future, ultimately landing on an outcome. Okay. From the heart of the matter, Virgo, what's going on? How can I help you stay on course? The heart of the matter is kind of what's consuming you. The Queen of Wands, no, I'm not going to accept it, kind of flopped out. The heart of the matter. The Knight of Swords in the upright position. What's the heart of the matter? What's crossing you energetically? The Six of Cups. What's on top of your situation? This is ultimately what needs to be prioritized. The Ace of Pentacles. What's on bottom of your situation? This is what your lesson learned, something that you've already just recently maybe learned, a lesson learned. The Hermit. What just happened recently in the past leading up to this current situation? Virgo for April, the Seven of Pentacles. What are you stepping into energetically coming up here in the near future? The Eight of Wands. Who are you in this reading? What do you represent? The Nine of Swords. And what are you stepping into energetically with an outside influence? The Four of Swords. Also, what do you hope and fear the most in this situation? Virgo for April. So with this being a general reading, it's up to you to kind of apply what's going on in your current situation to what I'm saying. This isn't love, this isn't finance. I'm not going to be specific when it comes to those things with it being general. Ultimately, your outcome in this situation is the Nine of Wands. The bottom of the deck shows the Ace of Swords and the Five of Wands. Ultimately, it's really important for you to complete something to get out of this same cycle and start moving towards growth. That is bottom line what you would like to prioritize. That's what you would like to prioritize. But I can tell you what energetically what you need to prioritize in a bit. Next, I'm moving to the Oracle. I would like to find out how you feel as an individual in April and what about that is significant. Also, with the Oracle, I'm taking a look at kind of the the details between your situation, kind of what's perplexing you, or what's kind of energetically clouding your energy, swarming you. This is Virgo for the month of April. You're having really deep feelings right now in April. It's making you feel a bit defensive. Okay, what else for Virgo? April. A wish fulfillment. Ooh, that's good. We'll see communication. There's travel. There's something happening. When it comes to your emotions, there is forward movement happening. And ultimately, this is really, really current. You're having a hard time understanding or seeing what's going on, or understanding the transition. I feel like you know, like, okay, so energetically, I feel like you know there's something out there that's meant for you. There's like this bigger, like a bigger picture. And ultimately, you're waiting for this to kind of reveal itself. You're seeing a glimpse of it. You're seeing it. But I don't know if the action itself or getting there is hard for you, or in itself it's not getting to you. But something is on its way. It's like your fulfillment, your wish fulfillment is coming up. It's about you overcoming something. Specifically ego. So there's some type of vanity and pride wrapped in this situation, ultimately keeping you from planting your seed. So let's get more into it. I would like to find out next how you feel in this situation. Do you even want this? What's going on for you? This is Virgo for the month of April. How do they feel? Tapping into them as a person. It's like you want to get serious, but there's something you need to feel first. It's like you have to settle. You have to stop. You have to slow down and kind of allow yourself to heal. Okay. Virgo for the month of April. Also, I will be doing your love reading here in a couple of days, so definitely stay tuned for that. If you're not a subscriber of my channel, you can be. It's free. Just subscribe and then hit that bell so you get notifications when I put out the new content. So, okay, yeah, you're in love with love. You want to figure out what's going on in your romantic situation. This is really important to you, and this is ultimately what you want to overcome. You're trying to stay positive. Again, you don't want to dance in the gray. You don't want to play. You don't want to play games. You don't want any type of drama in this energy. It's important for you to kind of just deal with reality. And that is, again, what you're prioritizing. This is the only way you can go anywhere or even see potential. So ultimately, I can tell you, yeah, you have a friend that you need to lean on right now. Ultimately, you're currently flirting. You're doing a lot of flirting. You're trying to open up and be available. But ultimately, there's some type of action that needs to be taken, and it looks like you're ready to be saved. You're kind of ready to get out of where you're going and see what is next. See what's bigger, what is next to come. You're kind of looking for the answer. Maybe you're looking for an easy fix, but ultimately you're looking for an answer. Let's make sure we focus on, ultimately the bigger picture, which is ultimately what you need to prioritize, which is exciting. Ultimately, the heart of the matter in your situation is the Knight of Swords. It looks like you're ready, again, like I said, to make movement and motion towards something. You're feeling passionate towards this, and you feel that you are ready to actually make a move. From the past leading into this situation, you actually realize that your interest in this, the work that you've put into it, has actually met you. It's worth it. You've understood that this is worth it. And from that being said, I can tell you, you're willing to see where this goes and what else you get from it, with the Seven of Pentacles in your recent past leading up to your current situation. Ultimately, what's crossing you is the Six of Cups. There's something youthful about this energy that is captivating you. It's ultimately helping you see or make it less abrasive, less serious. Ultimately, you're feeling this freedom in this. And it's almost familiar. It's almost like you knew this. It's almost like it's coming from the past, maybe. That's the type of familiar I'm talking about. Ultimately, from this energy, it's helping you see from start, middle, and end what's going on. And it's helping you kind of value this energy. And with this energy crossing you currently, it's kind of helping, it's even pushing you harder towards this new beginning. And that is ultimately what you want to prioritize. You are ready to put into this. You're ready to plant it. You're ready to nourish it. You're ready to protect it. And you're ready to like watch it grow. You're ready to see where this goes. You're ready to see the potential in this go somewhere after you literally, what you put into it. What happens when you and all of your special powers, all of your insight, all of your knowledge, all of your experience, what you do and when you put into this, where this goes. And I can tell you, this means as soon as you put into this and as soon as you nourish this, it's going somewhere fast. It's going somewhere so fast to the point where its point is to start growing. It is to kind of get the dirty work over with and just go for it. All right, so next, moving on to what you are stepping out of. It looks like you've lost something. Ultimately, this has hit you hard. It's been really kind of tragic in a way that you've had to kind of go on your own and figure out some answers. You've had to make sense of some things and find light in your situation. Ultimately, that's what you're coming out of. You have found your light. You are coming out of seclusion, and ultimately with discovery, what you're coming out of, what you've learned in this is ultimately a bigger picture. Not ultimately, but next, what you represent in this reading is the Nine of Swords. It looks like, with this card coming out in the diagonal position, yeah. With that being said, it looks like you're dancing with this. Your situation is so irregular. The irregularness is making you kind of lose your stability, lose your train of thought. It's kind of making things foggy or unclear. With this, that is what you have to kind of get your handle on, get control of. Ultimately, you need to regain your rhythm again. You need to get in your own rhythm. You need to get out of this imbalanced, foggy energy. Ultimately, it looks like you have an answer, or you've been kind of stuck on trying to figure out what to do, ultimately losing sleep, and your energy has been filled with anxiety. And with your energy being in this, there's an answer. There's something wrong in your current situation, and when you're at the most calm state is when you are really focused on it. It's where you have to find the answer, because it's the only unsettling thing in your energy. So that's kind of what is being prioritized when you finally settle after your hard day of work, when you go to bed at night, when your mind slows down, all of a sudden this pops up because it's the only unsettled thing. You have to figure out what's going on with this, ultimately pointing you to this one thing that's unclear. Everything else is dancing around you is kind of realistic and real, and you can kind of see it for what it is, but there's this one thing that's pretty unclear, and that's what you're trying to get clarity on. It looks like you have to slow down. You have to have this moment, and that's what you're stepping into. With an outside influence, you've been allowed alone time. With this alone time that you've been rewarded or gifted, ultimately, it's meant for you to heal. Your heart has some trauma that it's currently going through, or it is coming out of. This time, what this time is meant for right now for you is to slow down, to stop, and kind of take care of yourself to the point where nothing else is needed. The only thing needed is you, and you prioritizing you and making sure that you, whatever it takes for you to heal your heart, is done. And that is what you have currently in April. That is what you kind of need to do. And ultimately, it looks like it's being given to you. You have the right to heal. You have the right to fix yourself. You have this kind of, if you look at this card, there's a nest around this person. It's like the birds have provided this nesting area, this gentle, soft, cushioned area where you're safe and away from everything else and unharmed and not visible to anything or anyone, and you can heal. You can sit back and heal. This is what you need to do. Ultimately, what you're looking forward to in the near future is the 8 of Wands in the reverse, I believe. Yeah, it's in the reverse. It looks like, with that being said, it looks like communication or this movement isn't happening. This healing is exactly what needs to be done in April. Bottom line, Virgo, you really need to slow down, and you really need to prioritize that, because there's something to be healed, and the only way for you to heal is slow down. Look at this position on this card. This is what you need to do. That's the only way that you're able to actually embrace this healing energy and actually heal. Ultimately, or not ultimately, but next, what you hope and fear is the High Priestess. With that being said, the High Priestess, you're having a hard time trusting your own instinct with that coming out in the reverse. You fear that you're not seeing things right. Your vision for things are distorted. You feel like there's like this disillusion surrounding your situation. Again, you're lost in the clouds, you're lost in the chaos, you're lost in this gray energy, ultimately not giving you a sense of direction. This is you. You will find answers. You will be able to see. Things will start making sense, and you will be able to trust your instinct and ultimately see clear. That is what you have to look forward to coming up, but really that won't happen until you start sleeping soundly, until you start getting into your own comfort and rhythm and start seeing things for what they are, taking this opportunity to slow down and heal, and ultimately things will start making sense. It won't be so distorted anymore. And that is ultimately what you can look forward to. Ending in your outcome is the 9 of Wands. It's like you can feel, oh shoot, I gotta go get my card. Okay, so the 9 of Wands in the upright position states specifically that you have found resilience. You are able to get through this. You know that for a fact at this point. And this in itself is helping you get through the last part of this. Ultimately, understanding that this is kind of your last defense, your final approach, your last effort. Something else is coming, and I know you can feel it. There's something inside of you. It's almost like this build up to more. It's almost like what you want and where you're going and what you have will have something to go towards soon. And the energy building up to that is ultimately important. That is what's happening in your energy. And it's really important for you to step back and take this last moment to finish up what's backed up in your energy. Is there something else you need to do? Is there some last ditch effort that needs to be quickly fixed, or loose ends tied up? Whatever these things are, take this moment, make sure that they're all taken care of, complete, healed, even when it comes to your therapeutic advantages right now. Really heal, really take the opportunity to heal whatever trauma is looming from your past or hanging out from your past. Ultimately, your goal in this outcome is state this, affirm this, and even if you want to, please put it in the comments to kind of confirm this, but state, I affirm, I push beyond my own perceived limitations, and I remain open to what's available in the future. Okay, guys. What else? Okay. Bottom of the deck energy, that's what it is this Ace of Swords and the Five of Wands. Yes, you can overcome. This is the point. So underneath your energy, you are meant to overcome. Your energy in itself is an overcomer. That if you want to call yourself that in the month of April, do it. I am an overcomer, and ultimately I am bigger than this and meant to overcome this and see the bigger picture, seeing beyond what the happening is or what's happening to me. I am not a victim in my situation, and ultimately I'm meant for more. All right, guys, next moving to the charms. Thank you guys for liking this video. Thank you for your interaction. It really does help support my channel, and I'm very grateful of that. Here I was going to show, so I show that I close my eyes for the charms. Okay, whoa, lots. Okay, so right in the heart of the matter is caring. Being, self-care is extremely important. I can tell you that because there's something in this movement, and you understanding that your freedom, ultimately your self-care, giving yourself the freedom to obtain that self-care is what needs to be prioritized. Me. Think me. I'm not kidding. You are not a selfish person, and you know that, but you really have to think about yourself and prioritize yourself. With these two M's and the initial C, MM, the eagle on top of your situation. Also, right in the heart of the matter is a Pisces. Is actually feeling this, going with the flow, understanding that this motion means something for you, and actually going with the flow and seeing the polarity of your situation, giving into this sweet, gentle aspect, as well as seeing where that sweet, gentle aspect takes you. Also is a Taurus. It looks like, yeah, you're fighting against heart and head. If you're having a hard time communicating or using your mouth or words, verbalizing what you mean, it is because you're having a hard time communicating between or distinguishing what your heart wants and what your head wants. And because of that, you're not able to speak what you believe in because you're having a hard time believing in it. You're conflicting. Your heart and your head are conflicting. Ultimately, you have to find compassion and faithful energy. There's a puppy paw. Ultimately, there's some type of companionship that's important to this. It looks like you're ready to make some movement. If it's slow, let it be slow. But if you're ready to go fast, it's up to you. Ultimately, believing in the cycles of your situation, the magic of the situation, understanding that there is a dream that is on the horizon that is meant to be had. Next, moving on, reaching for, taking an extra step. Yeah, you need to reach above the clouds. You need to take, with this giraffe, the giraffe goes above everything else. It goes above where anybody else can go to obtain what it, as a creature, can, what's meant for it. Ultimately, with this love tab being on top of it, that is what you are reaching for, and that is what you're meant for. Again, there's a Pisces here, so ultimately flowing with this energy and seeing the polarity of your situation. And then the initial P is upside down. Ultimately, it's important for you, and this is maybe being too protective, but this is what you're trying to, or walking away from, maybe not being so protective or overprotective. Helicoptering the situation is ultimately what I'm feeling. Maybe kind of set back and see what happens. Have trust and faith in your situation. All right, next, moving to yes or no. Okay, you guys, don't forget to hit subscribe if you want to see me in the future. It's right there. It's free. It's easy. Okay. Yes or no question. Please understand, as a psychic intuitive reader, that I read energy in itself. Energy is always moving, changing, shifting. And with that being said, so can this answer. So don't live on it like it's life or death. But I can tell you this answer is current. Okay, here we go. Breathe into your question. Here we go. Yeah, you have to believe in this. You really, really, really need to kind of, you have everything surrounding you to complete what it is that you want, what it is that you're shooting for, what it is that you want. But it's really about you kind of just establishing, like fighting for yourself, overcoming all of this, and ultimately healing yourself, pointing you towards your joy and happiness. It's not a question of whether or not it's here. It is here. It's about what you do with it after you heal. It's almost like you have a distortion. There's something you're not seeing clearly until you heal. But my answer is yes. Okay, guys, that's all I have. Thank you so much for being a part of this reading and sharing your energy. Here it is back. I look forward to seeing you in the future. Bye.